Hey, most people think the middle class disappeared because people failed. They worked harder, they got more education, they followed the rules. But still, it didn't hold. What if the problem wasn't effort, but placement? What if the middle didn't fall, it was just quietly bypassed? Not by one decision, not by one technology, but by thousands of small choices made upstream without the people in the middle even knowing that they were being removed. That's what we're talking about today. Hey, I'm George Tifft, and this is BoomerBust. Welcome back. In the last episode, we talked about what happens when decisions start getting made without us. Not because we're pushed out, but because we slowly step back. Today, we're going to talk about the consequence of that shift. Because when decisions move upstream long enough, something underneath society starts to disappear. The middle. For decades, the middle class wasn't just an income bracket, it was a buffer between risk and stability, between labor and capital, between chaos and control. The middle existed because effort, experience, and time stacked. You worked, you learned. You advanced, you stabilized. The ladder is breaking, not loudly, not suddenly, but quietly. And the middle doesn't collapse like a building. It erodes like a seashore. A little less buying power, a little more debt, a little less job security, a little more volatility. And most people don't notice until the ground is already gone. But here's the uncomfortable truth. AI does not eliminate jobs evenly. It compresses value. High leverage rises. Low leverage survives barely, but the middle gets squeezed. Why? Because the middle was built on repeatable judgment, good decisions made consistently by experienced people. But when decision making becomes automated, repeatable judgment becomes software. And when judgment becomes software, the people who used to provide it lose their pricing power. And the middle class was never protected by income. It was protected by indispensability. And indispensability depended on being the bridge between strategy and execution, between leadership and labor, between ideas and outcomes. And AI is removing the need for that bridge, but not all at once, but just enough to make it unstable. That's why we're seeing more extremes, more winners, more losers, fewer people in between. And this isn't about laziness, and it's not about intelligence, it's about leverage. If your value depends on following procedures, applying known rules, executing repeatable decisions, you're in the compression zone. But if your value depends on setting direction, taking responsibility, and owning the outcomes, you still have ground, for now. The middle class doesn't vanish overnight. It thins. People don't fall, they slide. And because it happens gradually, most people blame themselves instead of the system. I just need to work harder, work smarter. I just need one more credential. I just need to catch up. But the ladder did not move. It shortened. The quiet collapse of the middle isn't a failure of people. It's a failure of an old structure meeting a new reality. And here's the most important part. The collapse isn't finished. In the next episode, we're going to talk about what still matters when AI can do almost everything better, faster, and cheaper than a human can. Because when the middle goes, the question isn't just how do you survive? It's who are you when efficiency is no longer your value? I'm George Tifft, and this is Boomer Bust. See you next time. Boomer out.